What is up guys, this is Streak here and welcome to the third and final part of my Minecraft banner tutorial. So far we've done posing, extruding, render effects, and now for the final part we're going to be completing the banner, adding the text, all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these two layers and move them all the way to the top. So then you can actually see the whole banner layout. This is just my banner template, but you can definitely download one off the internet. So yeah, I'm gonna select this group and do Command T, and because I'm on Mac, Command T. Oops, I'm not gonna do Command T because that selects the background as well. I'm just gonna take the background out as well as this. Just make sure that it's separate from the render so I can still do all my effects. Move the render in front. Right, so if you don't want to do Command T, or if you don't want shortcuts, I'll just do that for you. Scale it down, holding shift and then scaling, make sure that it's all in proportion, otherwise it's go like all weird. So I'm just gonna make sure that it's the correct size. It can be cut off like at the top, just saying, you don't have to have it perfect. So I'm not gonna have it perfect, I'm just gonna have it around there. Gonna move in front of this one. Okay, and then I'm going to just turn up the opacity at the back. Alright, now once we've done that, if you want a clean banner, I really like clean banners because I think that they look really professional and stuff. So what you want to do is go to the text tool over here, and it will take some time just to load it up. Just be patient for a bit. Scale it up, and then you can always adjust the color later, so don't worry about the color. Just make sure that the size is right, because if you resize it later, not through this way, through actual scaling the layer, then it will appear blurry. So make sure you get it right the first time. So I'm just gonna just put Mouse Street because that's kind of my name, and you can choose any text you want. I really like this font, but you can choose anything. I've downloaded a lot of fonts off defont.com, but just choose any font you want. Just make sure it's clean. Make sure you can see the text and stuff. I'm just gonna scale up just a tiny bit, 48 maybe. Nope. Yep, okay, that looks fine. Just gonna scale it somewhere over here, and most people will think, is that enough? Well, no, it's not, because it doesn't look too great right now. So we're gonna add some text effects. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into here. First of all, just change the color completely, because we want like an orangey text. So that's good. You wanna add some satin. So, just adds a bit of texture like that, and you can scale it up a bit, like this. Like this, yeah. And then you go to inner glow and you make it white, and then just change it to overlay, just like we did on the render, and then just turn down the opacity so it just adds a bit of a glow, as you can see. If you want to add a bit of shadow as well, then that's fine. Just make sure it's not too visible, right, like that. And then an outer glow, because why not? Just add the same color as the text. Just add a bit of a glow like that. Just turn it down, and there we go. So without the effects, I can show you, and with the effects, looks much better now. Now once that's done, you might want to add a gradient overlay as well, just a bit. Just a overlay. Make sure that this is in there first. And alright, so you might say that this is done as well, but it really isn't, because it still looks quite plain, and we just need to add a bit of effects here. I'm just going to scale it up a bit. Obviously if you scale it up a tiny bit, then it won't really affect the visibility. And sometimes you want to just overlay it a bit, so you can just do that. It really makes a huge difference to the banner. You don't always have to just keep the text completely separate. So I'm just gonna keep it over here and then move this over. Alright. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add like a bit of a box around the text because I think that would look quite good. Just gonna make sure they're on the layer below it and then click new layer. Select the rectangle tool, scale up a bit like this, and go edit, fill, and you select a color which you want. I'm just gonna go with like an orange. Don't worry, we're gonna fix this soon. So right now it looks like that. I'm just gonna go soft light, or overlay. That might look good. And then filter, motion blur, and make sure that it's 0. And there we go. That looks really nice. This adds a bit of a glow, like a bit of a box around the text, and draws your eyes to the text a bit more. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple of layers like this up here. Just make sure it's quite thin, and then over here as well. So what you can just do is do Command J to duplicate the layer, or you can just go layer, duplicate layer. And then go up here to make sure this is proper, and then you can just merge these two layers by right clicking and clicking merge layers. Yeah, you can choose anything you want. I'm just going to do overlay, maybe. That doesn't look too bad. I could keep it normal and then scale it down a bit. You just you got to make your own decisions at this point. I mean, depending on how you want the banner to look. And you can put it over the render, but I don't think that looks too good. Just put it under the render. It doesn't really matter about the text. I'm just gonna make sure. So make sure that it's at the correct place. There we go. Right, so the banner's almost done here, guys, because there's not much left to do. I'm just gonna quickly change the text because it doesn't look that great. I'm just gonna make sure get it a bit redder. There we go. Right. So I don't really do too much at this point. Obviously, in my banners I put a lot more effort, but if you just want a simple banner that looks good, then this should be enough. I mean, there's not too much that you need to make a banner. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly add some finishing touches by going into the render. Just duplicating this. Don't worry, we'll fix that in a minute. Just put it below. Actually no, you can keep it above. And then just Alt, and then just click on the bottom of that layer. And then what I'm going to do is filter motion blur. Change the angle to suit where it's going. That's about right. It's a bit. There we go. Actually, you might not want to do it that much. Just going to change the distance a bit to see how far it goes. Alright, so now what you want to do is just get the eraser tool. Okay, right, so get a low opacity. Start taking out the main parts, and there's a stop when you get to like around here. So make sure that you do around here, and then just like slowly stop until like here, and then you can start rubbing it all over again. And what that does is, you know, rub out mainly this part, but then this part will be left a bit, so I'm just going to turn it up a bit. Alright, so if I just check that, so it's, you know, it's a bit, it just looks like there's some more movement in the banner now. And the last thing I'm going to do probably is just duplicate this layer, go below, motion blur, and then soft light maybe. Just turn down the opacity, just add a bit of blur to the text there. And on the first layer you can just add some drop shadow just to make sure that, you know, that's the actual text. Alright, so that's pretty much the banner tutorial, guys. Thank you for joining me on this 3-part series. Hope you like the banner that we ended up with. Hopefully you'll end up with something like this as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.